Certainly will. Bobby Hutton was one of the first members to join the Black Panther Party. He was 15 when he joined, and he was murdered when he was 17, right down at 28th and Magnolia, where they held a big community breakfast one morning in honor of that fact. He was exemplary of a teenager or young people who said no more. Enough is enough. We need to make changes. And he was caught in a situation which was one of the first of many all over this nation with the continuous murders of our people, black and brown, and people from all walks of life. Today is the beginning of a change. Brother Kenzie Smith and many others like him. It always seems to start here in Oakland. So here we are, and we're happy to have everybody here join us for that purpose. So Bobby Hutton was the reason why I joined, because I was 17 years old at the time that he was killed. I came off the college campus, like many of us did. And then we have people coming back from Vietnam and the community in general. And so here we are today, full circle, ready to make a change. So thank you all for being here to honor this in behalf of the community of Oakland, the community of the whole nation, as well as Bobby Hutton himself and his family.
So how do we contact you if we need a mentor, or say my son needs somebody to educate him a little bit more like me? How do I find you?
Oh, I can actually give me my email. My email is saturo100@gmail.com, and my phone number is 510-355-6906. As a matter of fact, I'm happy you asked that, because we are going to begin a mass education program of all the knowledge that has been kept from our people.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate you. So I want to start off by saying, all power to the people. Come on, all power to the people. That's more like it. I am Saturu Ned, also known as James Mott. I joined the party. My inspiration was little Bobby Hutton. He was 17 at the time he was killed. And I was a typical 17-year-old teenager in America, growing up in the civil rights era of change, looking at where direction I was going to go in. And when he was killed, I joined the party in 1968, and I was there till it was officially dissolved in 1982 by UEP Newton. So I was there with all the things that took place. The reason why little Bobby Hutton, a 17-year-old teenager, was that he actually joined the party, started getting involved in the party when he was 15 years old. And the reason why was because faced with every day a degrading scene of total police brutality, and I want you guys to understand there were no recourses. Oops, did I say something? Because there seems to be none now. We have never seen police shootings like they're going on in America without any recourse. There are no convictions, and I'm not just talking about, yes, there's tons of them in the black community, tons of them in the Latino community, but also young whites are being shot now. People from all over the world are being killed if they go against a regime of fascism. So what we're seeing right now at this point in time is a shift. Black people and brown people, we've always been faced with this dilemma of murder. This has been going on for a long time. And what you have just been exposed to it recently when it was blew up again here in Oakland with Oscar Grant, who I'm very close to his family. So the idea here is now, where do we go from here? Where do we go? I've seen this come full circle. I'm actually writing my book called Full Circle, and I think I'm qualified. As many other former party members, we're still very active. We actually have an alumni association. We see what is going on. Brother Kenzie, I love him to death. He is a perfect example of a lot of young men and women in this city, and it's a growing movement across the country. What was different about us? The demonization that we received, because and I happened to be there that day when little Bobby Hutton, that was my first contact with him. I was downtown Sacramento, California, senior cut day. So I go down there, I'm bound there by myself. I saw them whisk away Governor Reagan. I saw these guys coming in. I went in behind them. And when I saw Bobby Seale reading the constitutional right to defend yourself and your family, He's talking about the Mulford Act at that time was passed to disarm our community, not from the killings that were going on, but because they were standing up to the brutality of police departments. They were recruiting them directly from the South. And if you go in the South now, they're still recruiting Klans people who are that what we call the ultra-right to join police departments here in this region. So I am so honored to be here, to be in such great health that I am. I guess I'm here for a reason and a purpose. And one of that is to help galvanize all of us again. It was not just the Black Panther Party. It was all of us. It was young white students. It was Latinos from the Brown Berets, the Young Lords. It was American Indian Movement, AIM. And then it became international. People from all over the world. And really, Nixon got upset when we were able to go to China before he was let in. The Chinese government wanted to talk to us about what was going on in America. And we actually brought back a form of acupuncture. If you have an opportunity, you can go online, Stanford Archives, and see all the 65 survival programs. Those programs we were talking about were to galvanize any issue that might be happening in any community. And then we would come together and say, never again will we allow hatred amongst us or division, because now we understand who the true enemy is. And I can truly tell you that there is little concern for you, little concern for me or anyone else at this point in time. You remember, this is truly a global move to suppress, control anyone. And who would have thought that a detention center would have been in a Walmart store? You all heard the rumors, right? You hear about the camps, the FEMA camps that are being renovated, holding 20, 30,000 people. And the information that I'm giving you has been verified. We have people that send us things and let us know what's going on. My good friend Barbara Lee and Maxine Waters, Barbara was here last weekend. We celebrated her birthday. And how dare them attack someone who stands up and says, we're tired of what you do, but all of a sudden you're going from point A to we need to kill you. So we are faced with many issues at this point in time, but I want to let you know that there's just something about this city. There's always been something about the resiliency and resistance of Oakland. When you try to stamp out the fire, it gets bigger and bigger. When you try to stop us and suppress us from speaking the truth gets known throughout the world. I was with Davey Diggs. Kenzie and I were with him yesterday. Hopefully you get to see his new movie called Blind Spotting. He's also very much into the movement. He's very much into the change that needs to take place. So we're seeing a rise, and each and every one of you here in attendance today are special people. This is part of your calling. You know, it took me so many years to realize it a long time ago, but this is what I've always been for the last 40 plus years. And guess what? You are leaders in your own right. You will be leading your own communities. You will be informing them of the truth. We will be galvanizing together to make changes. And we always would say, when instead of being out there throwing rocks at those ultra-right people or people who hate us because we're standing up for whatever human being would have, we'll be organizing. We'll be feeding children. We'll be housing people. We'll be making sure that people have a decent education. We'll be making sure that people get fair trials. All these things are what we're all about. So I am so happy to be here. I've got my running shoes on, and I call my old comrades and I tell them, like the old Cisco and Pancho, saddle up. We're getting ready to ride again. So I want to thank you all. God bless you all. Proud to the people. Thank you.